Hi, Mark Carriere here, and welcome to the fourth video in our series of generating consumer leads that close at over 20%. Now that you've completed researching your highest value customers and have a very clear idea of who they are, problems that they face, and the solutions they're looking for, the next step is to create an attractive contest as a lead magnet to draw them to you. A lead magnet is usually described as a bribe or a small nugget of interesting content you offer to your target market, which, they find so irresistible they'll happily give you their contact information to access it. The main purpose of lead magnets is to get the greatest number of targeted leads possible and to move these leads along a pathway towards a sale. And when you analyze the best performing lead magnets, you'll find they all share these key ingredients. Key one, specifically targeted to the ideal customer. And because you've done the research and created a customer avatar of your ideal customer, this information will be invaluable to you in selecting pricing and where to promote your contest. Key two, provides a very specific solution to achieve a specific end result that the ideal customer wants. Here is where the importance of the prize giveaway really comes into play. As we've discussed earlier, you can focus on offering your core product or service as the prize to give them the specific result they're looking for, or provide a prize that speaks to a result they desire in their personal life. Key three, provide something big that has a high perceived value which speaks to the ideal customer. And because you determine how long your competitions run, you can spread out the cost of prizes and state lottery permits over longer periods of time. This allows you to offer a big prize that has really high value to your ideal customer. Key four, provides immediate gratification and can be consumed quickly. Entering contests takes hardly any time at all. All contestants have to do is input their contact details, answer a few survey questions, and hit the submit button. Now, the first pillar of creating magnetic contests is developing a sound strategy, and sadly, this is where most people fall down. And I'm not just talking about the process of generating great leads, if you can believe it. You'd be surprised at how often people don't think through how they'll use the leads they've generated once they've got them. Then when the results they were hoping for don't materialize, they wonder why, and often decide that running contests just doesn't work for them or their business or their industry. Of course, they're frustrated with the poor results and all the time and effort they've put into them, not to mention the money they've invested. But what do they expect? Sure, not everything you try is going to work out as you might have expected, but if you don't have a well thought through plan and execute that plan effectively, you'll never get anywhere close to the results you had hoped for, will you? So follow these steps to help you think through how you'll execute all the phases of your plan. Your strategy doesn't need to be absolutely perfect, and few of them ever are. But having a well thought out plan that is properly executed will always deliver better results than something just whacked together. When thinking about your strategy, start off by asking yourself these questions. First, what's the purpose of running your contest? What is it that you really actually want to achieve? Is your goal to simply remind your customers that you're still around and keep your business top of mind with them? And just have some fun and perhaps later send them a special offer like a discount coupon as a thank you for entering the contest? This can be a good tactic for running short-term contests and staying in touch with your customers throughout the year, especially when, time to coincide with special occasions like Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, Father's Day, or any other occasion that comes to mind. You need to ask yourself, do you want to cast as wide a net as possible and quickly grow your database by capturing names and email addresses of potential customers you can nurture and move through your sales funnel? Now, this can be a good way to go if you're just starting out or have a retail business looking for repeat customers that you can promote to over the year. You need to ask yourself, do you want to generate qualified leads and find out which of your products or services they're interested in buying and when they want to buy them? This is the best way to go if you're selling products or services that require prospects to meet certain requirements, particularly if you use telemarketing to follow up leads. And when thinking about your process, ask yourself, how long will I run the contest? The length of your contest is going to have an effect on a number of things related to your cost per lead and overall cost of sales. A shorter contest usually means fewer leads, which, means the cost of the prize is spread over fewer leads, which drives your lead cost up, while a longer contest period generally delivers more leads, which reduces your lead cost so you can afford to spend more on a prize to attract your ideal customers. Another question to ask yourself is, what contact information do I really need to collect? Typically, the more contact information you ask from contestants, the lower your participation rates will likely be. And as we want to get as many leads as possible while keeping our lead costs down, we need to decide what contact details we really need to collect. Another question to ask yourself is, how will I identify or qualify contestants to determine if they are good for my purposes? The best way to identify the best prospects is by asking a few survey questions that qualify contestants. And be sure to keep your survey questions relevant and to a minimum, because the more questions you ask, the lower your participation rates will be, which means fewer leads. And with regard to driving traffic to your contests, ask yourself, which of my existing marketing channels can I inexpensively leverage to drive traffic to my contests? There are stacks of opportunities that you can use for little to no cost to drive people to your contest site, like banners on your website or promoting your contest in your newsletters or on your social media sites, for instance, or even just printing out flyers that you can hand out to people at trade shows, shopping centers, or special events. And, what other paid mediums can you use, like Facebook pay-per-click campaigns? And give some thought to how will you follow up hot, ready-to-buy leads? And also ask yourself, how will you follow up other leads that aren't ready to buy now? Pillar 2, selecting your prize. After creating your customer avatar and developing your strategy, selecting the most appealing prize for your contest is the most important component of generating high-converting leads. Get that right, and half the battle is won. Considering your overall strategy, you need to decide whether you're going to offer a business-related solution as your prize or a really appealing lifestyle prize that speaks to either a business or a lifestyle result your ideal customer really wants. If you want to use a business-related prize, you can either strip something from your core offering or go with the big gun and offer a total solution. For example, if you're a financial planner or a mortgage broker, for instance, why not offer to pay the winner's mortgage for 12 months up to a certain value? Or you might decide to go with holidays to destinations your ideal customers are really excited about, or offering a really appealing car, or even offering prizes that revolve around special events like football finals or major golf or tennis tournaments, for example. You need to remember that your prize is your lead magnet, and to be successful, you need to have a prize that specifically targets your ideal customer, provides a very specific solution to achieve a specific end result that the ideal customer wants, is something big that has high perceived value, which speaks to the ideal customer. And when choosing your prize, you should also consider an important element of consumer buying behavior: price versus value. Price is an important part of the buying decision, but it's just what people pay. What's more important is the value they place on what the purchase will do for them. In other words, what it's worth to them or the value that it adds to their lives. Whenever people are making a buying decision, they weigh up the pros and cons. If the pros outweigh the cons of buying, they'll buy. If the cons outweigh the pros, they won't buy, regardless of the price. So if the pros and cons are pretty much equal, then depending on how they feel at the moment, they might buy. Of course, value is subjective. What you value in something may not hold the same value for others. With this in mind, you need to understand that people know that the price that they're going to pay is providing you with their name and contact details and receiving a phone call or email from you later on. So you need to be sure that the perceived value of the prize you're offering is worth the price they'll pay in their minds. Pillar 3, designing your contest magnet. When building your contest site, here are the elements you want to include. Number 1, landing page or entry form, same thing. Number 2, contact details, and make sure that these fields are required fields. You want to add survey questions. This is where the gold comes from, so make sure these fields are required fields as well. You want to add the promoter's name, that's your name and address, and any state lottery permits if they are required. You also want to include your privacy statement and have an acknowledgement statement that says that we have read the competition rules and the privacy statement and agree to these. You want to have an About Us page. You want to have a contest rules page. You want to have your privacy policy on a separate page, and you want a thank you page at the end of the competition. And this is important. You want to be sure that you're compliant with the do not call and spam legislation. So be sure to have the legal team provide you with your privacy and acknowledgement statements, the contest rules, and your privacy policy. They're the experts. Make sure they go with that. To extend your reach even further to generate even more leads and sales, add these elements to your contest sites. Refer a friend functionality. Give contestants the ability to invite family and friends to enter your contest by sending a contest link via email or by sharing and promoting your contest on their social media profiles. Make it worth their while by giving them an extra entry for everyone they refer that actually enters your contest. Add an offers page with special offers for contestants to select. Now that you've got their attention, you may as well grab the low-hanging fruit, right? Also, allow contestants to send your offers to their family and friends via email or uploading them onto their social media profiles. Go viral and drive sales from people who didn't even enter your contest. And after contestants select one of your offers, provide them with a simple date and time option so they can tell you when to contact them regarding the offer they selected. And that brings us to the end of video 4. I want to thank you for your time and hope you found the information in today's video useful. Now, be sure to be on the lookout for the last video in the series where we discuss Pillar 4, driving traffic to your contests, and Pillar 5, following up on your leads. You're going to find that video really, really useful, and it should be hitting your inbox in the next couple of days. And while you're waiting for that video, go and register for our free webinar, where we pull everything together in a specific example of a magnetic contest that gathers the consumer intelligence needed to generate a wealth of high-converting leads. Seats are limited, so get in early so you don't risk missing out on this free webinar. And if you register within the next 24 hours, you'll also receive our customer avatar worksheet that includes a sample of the questions you should ask yourself to get started developing a profile of your ideal customer. Thanks again, and look forward to seeing you in video 5.